What's up, everybody? Allan Wade here with an exciting video. Today we're going to do a versus with these three champions I have in the background. From my right to your left, which is your left to my right, we have the GOAT, the undisputed long-time reigning champion, which is the Heat Press Nation Signature Series 16x20 coming into the game. You guys know that you idolize this press. This is like the press when you know you're finally made it and you're finally ready to make some serious money in the game. And then we have our slightly new, fresh into the game, Heat Transfer Warehouse Walla Press Pro 16x20 slide out drawer auto open. All these are 16x20 auto opened with the slide out drawer. And then finally, to my far left, we have the Ricoma, the newest in the game, the Ricoma 16x20 heat press. Very, very excited about this press, guys. It might seem like all these presses are like recycled from China. I get a lot of comments saying, hey, that's nothing. This press is this press, or that press is that press. And somebody will send me a picture from some cheap press from China or something like that. And I don't know, it's all speculation. Some of these presses might be the same, but I'm here to tell you, if you pay close attention intricately, they have certain features that might not be available on those presses that you think they are, right? I've looked real intricate at these presses, and these manufacturers and these companies are very, very, very competitive, extremely competitive with each other, and you have to pay close attention to see the differences between the presses that you think they're mimicking versus what they actually are. And there are differences between a lot of these different presses. And in all fairness, if you have any one of these presses, you can't go wrong, right? And in all fairness to Heat Transfer Warehouse and their Walla Press Pro, this is not a fair comparison, because I thought that this press, the Walla Press Pro, was a direct competition, direct competitor to 16x20 Heat Press Nation press, but it's not. The direct competitor for this 16x20 press from Heat Press Nation is the new Heat Transfer Warehouse 16x20 Walla Press Auto Open Drawer, right? That one retails for, I think, $7.99. Let me check my little notes here that I wrote for you guys. Yeah, I think it retails for $7.99. This signature series, right, the classic, retails for $8.99.95. What I like that Heat Press Nation is doing is they have a lot of little, and this is what I mean by these companies are very competitive with each other. Every one of these presses has something different. Every one of these companies did a little research, and these presses have something different to offer each one of you guys. Let's start with the Heat Press Nation press, right? This 16x20 slide out drawer, auto open, great. If you want to get into the game, you want to get going, you want something that's just going to work, it's going to be a workhorse, it's going to last for a long time, it's tried, true, and proven. 16x20 Heat Press Nation Signature Series auto open with a slide out drawer. Tried and true. Lots of people have it in the industry, and it keeps on working, right? What I like that Heat Press Nation has done is they take it a step further and they add different components and different features that might sway you in the direction to purchasing that press. For example, this press has certain features that other presses don't, right? They have a feature where you can soup this out, spec this out like a car. They have something called the shore press. This doesn't have it, and that press is going to cost you a little bit more, but they have a feature called the shore press, which I have on the 15x15, on my 15x15 signature series. A shore press where you can turn the knob and it will tell you exactly how much pressure you're applying to your substrate, right? So you can you can assign a heavy pressure versus a light pressure, or presses substrates that require a certain amount of pressure. You can know exactly what number that pressure is, and that works for that vinyl versus another pressure that works for another vinyl, or another pressure that might work for your white toner versus another pressure that might work for your transfers, right? So you can have numbers, certain numbers for pressures, and instead of like just turning the lever and guessing, you can have a specific number. And that's a huge selling point. Along with this little extra handle right here, none of the presses have an extra handle. What they do have is they all have a slide out drawer. And so this is what I consider to be a very basic press that will get you going. One of the things that I like about it a lot is the fact that it does have a button on the side, emergency release button on the side right here. If you press it down and you want to, for whatever reason, stop the press, terminate the press early, you can press that emergency button right there on the side. But to me, the emergency button is located all the way in the back on the body of the unit. I guess it kind of makes sense for the design of the press where it's located, but to me it's located a little bit far. It should be located somewhere, you know, that's easier to reach, right? The drawer slides out. It kind of opens up nice and smooth. Like I said, it's tried and true. A lot of people don't know this actual plate right here is removable. There's a little bolt at the bottom and you can take this plate off. I don't know if they make other plates for it, but this plate does come off. And I found that out on accident. Let me put it back real fast. Yeah, guys, but I found that out by accident while I was moving the press down here to do this video, actually. And when setting the temperature, it is fairly straightforward and simple to go from, you know, setting your temperature, changing between seconds and degrees and stuff like that. Seconds versus the temperature. It's easy to dial in the numbers, right? But it's not touchscreen. You do have to hold down the button to go from, you know, 1 to 60 seconds or from 60 seconds to 30 seconds. So it is a little bit, you know, dated in that aspect. There is a reset button so you can, you know, reset the parameters and stuff like that. But overall, it is a workhorse. It's tried and true. Plenty of people have it, and you can't go wrong if you have that press for the price of $899.95. By the way, all these presses, links will be in the description below if you like to purchase any of these presses. I'm not making this video to sell any presses. I'm just making this video to have some fun with these companies and show what they have to offer and show you the differences between the presses. And you know, I want to know what you guys think. All right, press number 2 is our Heat Transfer Warehouse 16x20 Walla Press Pro. All right, this press comes in at $1,295. I know what you guys are thinking, $1,295 versus $899.95. It's obvious who would win that, right? You go with the one that's less expensive, but this one does have some features that this one does not. The Signature Series is 148 pounds. I don't know if weight is a thing for you, but this one right here is only 106 pounds. So if weight is a thing for you and, you know, you don't want your heat press to be that heavy, you know, to me, it seems like after you set it up, you're going to leave it there. Weight doesn't matter because it's just going to stay in the same spot. Or like me, you might have yours on wheels or something like that. So that wouldn't come into play. But if weight is a thing for you, then, you know, you might want to go with the Heat Transfer Warehouse for a little bit more money. But some of the other features that this press has that press does not is it has a auto open feature, like a emergency, let's call it an emergency stop, emergency pop-up, like the button on the side of the Heat Press Nation one that's on the side of the body. This one is located right on the side of the actual, right below the arm. So that kind of makes more sense. The functionality does take a little bit of time to get used to because you got to twist the knob as opposed to pushing the button. And then once you twist the knob, you have to kind of reset it for it to lock down again. So that takes a little bit of time to get used to because you're used to just pushing the button and it pops back out. But you get over it real fast when you consistently use the press. All right, the second thing that I like about this is it's actually kind of weird. Some people might not like it, but it has what I consider, I'm not sure if they did this deliberately or if it's just me, it has what I consider to be a safety feature. When you first turn the press on, you're cutting the power on to the press, but the press is actually not starting to do its thing, not starting to warm up. You can't really use the press until you press the actual power button on the actual head of the unit. So there's a switch that gives power to the press, and then there's a button on the face of the press that you press so that it can start heating up and things like that. All right, so the other thing that I like about it is, what else do I like about it? The other thing I like about it is the slide out comes out a little bit farther, significantly farther if you ask me, farther than the Signature series. So it gives you a little bit more room when it slides out than the Signature series does. When you first turn the heat press on, it would be more beneficial to, like, if you turn it on, set it to Fahrenheit, turn it back off, turn it back on, it should be stuck on Fahrenheit, but it doesn't have, like, I guess a save feature on it that enables you to do that. So every time you turn it on, not only do you have to cut the power on, then turn it on again, but you also have to change it from Celsius to Fahrenheit, and and then it'll heat up at the last temperature and time that you had it set to. So I would say if the Heat Transfer Warehouse Walla Press Pro is too expensive for you, then Heat Transfer Warehouse does have a Walla Press Drawer 16x20, still has the auto open feature for $799, which is $100 cheaper than the Heat Press Nation Classic Signature series, guys. So interesting things, different features. If in case you missed it, this drawer slides out farther than that one, right? This has a safety feature. That one doesn't. Both of them have a emergency open feature. The Walla Press Pro emergency feature is, a little bit closer to get to, but it has this little quirks that can get on my nerves a little bit. But overall, I love both presses, and even if you get either one of these presses, you can't go wrong. I'm in love with both of them. I'm glad I have both of them, right? But one thing that you want to take into account that this one has, that this one does not, is the ability to hover. That might not mean a lot to you guys, but the ability to hover once you start doing DTG, or if you're doing screen printing, or anything that requires your ink to cure, to get hard to dry, and you don't want the ink to touch the platen, you don't want to press it, you want to dry pre-treat, Heat Press Nation's press can't hover. It just presses. If you crank that baby all the way up, it's still touching. It's not separated from the platen enough so it can hover. So this one would be the winner if you ever want to get into screen printing, or if you ever want to get into DTG or curing shirts, you might want to hover. Clear winner right here. I don't know if the $7.99 Heat Transfer Warehouse Walla Press with the slide out drawer, the orange one, has that feature, the hover feature, or not. But this, if you want the hover feature, then this is the way to go. All right, now let's move on to the new kid on the block. Everybody was excited when these presses came out, and it had a lot of buzz online. I think personally I wanted one. Or at least I wanted to touch it and play with it, see what it looked like, to see what it functioned like. And guys, I'm not disappointed. Ricoma really did some research, and they dug into what might be, what might be their thing that distinguishes their press and separates them from the rest. And I think they hit it out of the park, with the exception of one thing. I'm going to get back to that later. But this press right here, for the price, the Ricoma 16x20 auto open slide out drawer retails for $899, right? About the same price, 95 cents less than the Heat Press Nation one. But the head unit on this press is worth both of these presses. I'm going to be honest. Okay, so the one thing that it doesn't have, okay, I don't even know where to start. The one thing that this press does not have, the Ricoma press does not have, that doesn't make any sense to me, is it does not have an emergency open feature. Like this one has a button on the side you can press, the Heat Press Nation button on the side you can press, auto open. If you press something down and you, oh no, I want to stop it early, you press the button, it pops up. Even though it's on the body, it's far back, you got to reach to get to it, it's okay, still got that. Heat Transfer Warehouse Walla Press Pro got the emergency stop button, the emergency stop lever, knob, you twist it, it pops open in case you want to end that press right there, boom. Twist that, it comes open. The Ricoma press does not have an auto open. So you clamp that sucker down for 20 seconds, 30 seconds, 60 seconds. It's at that temperature. Your thing is gonna press for that amount of time. The only way to override it, I think, is, I guess, you turn it off or you start unscrewing so it can hover. I don't know, but it does not have a button or a knob or anything that you can press so it can pop open. There's even a reset button, on like a fuse type of button on this. It doesn't do anything. All right, so that is the downside to that press. But the upside to that press is, one, the price point. It beats out both of these presses. The Heat Press Nation by 95 cents. The Heat Transfer Warehouse one by a couple $100. And also, it's a little bit more expensive than the new Walla press with the slide out drawer, the 16 by 20 that's on Heat Transfer Warehouse's site that I don't have. It beats out that. It doesn't beat out that one in price wise, but I don't know if that one has the auto open feature, like the emergency open feature, and I don't know if that one hovers. But this Ricoma press hovers. So once again, if you're looking for something that hovers, right, and you don't feel like spending the $12.95 for the Walla Press Pro, then you can get the Ricoma press, right, because it hovers, right? So it has that feature. Another feature that it has that blows both of these presses out of the water by far is the head unit. The head unit, the top, the brains, the body of this thing. Not only is it an attractive press and it's a solid press, all these presses are solid presses, but the Ricoma 16 by 20, this head right here, they really wanted to separate themselves when they made this press, right? And I'm excited about it. It's a time saver. It's convenient. It's just well thought out for that price. For the price, it's very, very well worth it, guys. It has a feature. It's touchscreen. That's one, right? And the touchscreen enables you to quickly just press. You can press the time module and just type in the amount of time that you want to set the press for, and then press enter, and then boom, that time is set. Versus both of these presses, the Heat Press Nation and Heat Transfer Warehouse, you have to hold down, up or down, and have the thing physically go through all the numbers until it gets to the numbers that you want. You might miss the number, you might have to go down. It's not a big deal, but it is a huge time saver to just be able to press, type in 130, you know what I mean, 130 seconds or 60 seconds or 30 seconds, just press enter, boom, you're done, time is set, right? You can do the same thing with the temperature. It's really convenient, really easy. You can just press the temperature gauge, and it has huge gauges. Press the temperature gauge, type in the temperature that you want, press enter, boom, it's set. It's starting to heat up at that temperature. Easy, fast, and quick. Hands down, this is the closest you're going to get to a Hotronix Fusion IQ without spending the Fusion IQ money. And I think they probably looked into that and spent some money and said, hey, slap this on top of our heat press, because we want our heat press to compete with the big dogs, but at the little dogs' prices, right? This is the best press for your buck if you think that that feature is really, really important to you. But it doesn't stop there, guys. They have a feature in here where you can save parameters. So you can actually go to the heat press, press the parameters menu, click on your save parameters. You can save new parameters, right? And it goes like, I don't know, it's like something like, it's a whole bunch of different parameters. I haven't counted how many you can save. I'm going to say about 10, but who needs more than 10 anyway? You're going to save settings for your sizer easy weed, save settings for your flock HTV, save settings for your brick HTV, save settings for your puff HTV, save settings for your DTG, save settings for your white toner. You can save the name, the time, and the temperature, and have that setting saved. So you can go into parameters, just press one button, and the heat press, it will adjust for that setting that you have saved. None of these presses can do that. And at the price point, $8.99, you definitely can't beat it, hands down. And it hovers, but there is a downside. I mentioned the first downside, which is it does not have an emergency open feature. But the second downside, which I think is something that should be included in the instructions, but Ricoma does not have it included in the instructions, and I'm going to just put it out there, this heat press has a flaw. It's not tried and true. It's still a new press. To me, it works good, but there is one flaw that should be included in the instructions that is not, but I'm going to tell you guys what it is, just in case you guys have this problem. For this auto open feature to work, there is a small little latch on the back of the press close to the body that has to touch a magnet on the actual body in order for the clamp to shut down. If you apply too much pressure on your heat press, if you tighten that knob up too much and then you push it down hard, that little lever that has to attach to the magnet could shift. And once it shifts away from the body, when you go to press it down again, it won't make contact with that magnet. And if it doesn't make contact with that magnet, you won't know. You'll think your press is broken. You'll think that the press is broken, but it's not broken. The actual thing holding the little lever in place are screws. So you actually have to just simple fix, unscrew the screw, push it back into place so that it can touch the magnet, and screw it back in, and then it will function just like nothing ever happened, right? So that's one caveat to that. That's one small thing that you might want to consider. Another small thing that you might want to consider is sometimes when you're adjusting the plate, it's kind of a little bit difficult to adjust. It can seem like it gets stuck. But the only thing, the answer to that is you have to get like something like some mittens, or get an old t-shirt or something. We're all garment decorating. We got old t-shirts, sweatshirts, something like that. Hold the platen and just wiggle it around a little bit and unscrew or screw it back down, and that'll loosen up the tension on that thing when you're not able to turn it. So two little small caveats to the Ricoma press, but for the price that they made this press and the time that head unit is going to save you, I think it's very, very much worth it. Very, very much worth considering in the game. And let's see how much it weighs. The press comes in around at 155 pounds. So it is our heaviest press. All right. You got the Ricoma 16 by 28, 155 pounds. The Heat Press Nation Signature Series at 148 pounds. Then we got the Walla press, which is not here. The Walla press orange slide out drawer, which is $799 at 126 pounds. Then we got the Walla press Pro right behind me, which comes in at 106 pounds, which is the lightest. So they took the time to create something that's, you know, not as heavy as the other ones. But like I said, you're going to spend $1,295 for that. And I'm not sure if you guys have that in your budget. If you do, then it's a great press. You can't go wrong with it. But at the price point of $899 to be able to save parameters, I think the Ricoma press is probably a force to be reckoned with at this point. A lot of people love the design of the Walla Press Pro. The Signature Series has been out for a while, so maybe Heat Press Nation should consider giving it a facelift. I don't know, but it's tried and true. It's tried and true. You know it's going to work, and it's hands down very, very durable. The Walla Press Pro is an awesome press. It has the hover feature. The drawer comes out really, really far. The Ricoma drawer comes out really, really far too. I think they're tied on that as far as like how far the drawer comes out. But the Walla Press Pro is a lot lighter, even though it doesn't look like it. It looks bigger and stands taller than all the presses. And it looks more attractive than all the presses, if you ask me personally. And it is not the same as that press that you guys are sending me in my DMs and in my emails as that Chinese press. The head unit is different. The actual top is different. So a lot of these presses might, you know, share similar bodies or even the same bodies, but I'm telling you, there are small nuances that separate them from the presses that you think they are. They might look like, and the body might have similar features and stuff like that, and they might look exactly without the names and stuff, but there are small differences. The head unit of this press, the Walla Press Pro, is not the same as that one that you guys keep on telling me. It does have some more buttons and some more features that that other one does not. And the same thing with the Signature Series, the same thing with the Ricoma press. If you look hard enough, you're going to find presses that look similar, but some of these companies, what they do is they pick out different things that they want on their presses to make them unique and make them stand out, to give them different selling points, and that's what separates them from the rest. So guys, if you want to purchase any of these presses, let me know. In the I'll have affiliate links in the comments in the description down below. Use my Heat Press Nation link if you want to get yourself a Signature Series or see what else they have to offer. If you want to get yourself a Walla Press Pro, use my Heat Transfer House link down below, or you can get the Walla Press Auto Open Drawer Orange Press for $7.99. If you don't want to get this one for $12.95, that's not in your budget. But the one for $12.95 is probably going to be your better bet, because it does have that emergency open feature. It does have that safety feature also, and it does slide out a whole lot along with the other stuff that I named. Can't remember everything, but it does have some features that the other one will not have. But the Ricoma press, as of right now, even though it has those little small quirks, I probably have to say that this press is the most bang for the buck at $8.99, because you can save parameters on it and you can hover, but it doesn't have an emergency open button. So you got a lot to think about when you're considering which press you want to buy, guys. You have a lot to think about. All three of these presses are great. No one really wins hands down, but as far as convenience is concerned, if time and saving time is a factor to you, then the Ricoma press is probably, and price wise, the Ricoma press is probably the best bang for your buck at this time. Like I said, I don't have the Walla Press Auto Open 16x20 in my possession, so I can't give you guys an opinion on that. But this Walla Press Pro, I love it. It's you can't go wrong with it if you want to spend a little bit more. And like I said, the Signature Series 16x20 speaks for itself. I have nothing really bad to say about any of these presses. All three of them are bomb. You know, like I said, I told you guys about the flaw on the 16x20 Ricoma press, but you guys now know what to do if that ever happens to you. So it's not really a thing. It took 10 seconds to fix or whatever, if you want to call it fixing, because it never really broke. But that is a flaw that you might want to consider. It is something that, a part that could potentially, mess up. What if you lose a screw? What if that little latch breaks or something? I don't know. Who knows? Whatever. But it's something to consider. And these other two, they're just solid, ready to go, right? But that head unit, save parameters, type it in real fast, easy to change between, different settings, versus pressing the button on both of these. You got to press the button and hold it down and wait for it to get to the number. So if you're at 300 seconds and you want to get all the way down to 15-second press, you got to press and hold that and wait for all those numbers to go through. It might, you could save a little bit of time, and over time that can get a little bit annoying, right? That's why the Fusion IQ is so popular, because you can save parameters and you can do different things. But we're not going to get into that one. That one is, swing away, plus it's slide out, plus it has all these different functions, plus it comes with a stylus, and one day we'll get to that level. But guys, for right now, I'd say the best bang for your buck is the Ricoma press. Followed by the Walla press, if you ask me. The Walla Press Pro is the second runner-up, followed by the Signature Series. I'll have to give the Signature Series last place, only because it does not hover. If it hovered, then it would come in second place, but I'd say the Ricoma press, followed by the Walla Press Pro, followed by the Signature Series. That's my honest opinion. You guys let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. I'm out of here. This video is super long, and I'll talk to you guys on the next one. Let me know your comments below down in the comment section. Like I said, use my link if you want to purchase any of these presses. My Ricoma link, affiliate link, my Ricoma shop affiliate link, my Heat Transfer House affiliate link, or my Heat Press Station affiliate link. It's your boy. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace. Turn up that, crank it up.
Why listen to the rest when you're rocking with the best, baby? This right here, this right